Hello, my name is Tad Dowse, and I want to show you a little bit about new software that I've purchased for my 3D printer called Simplify 3D. Recently purchased a Power Spec 3D Pro printer, which is kind of a MakerBot clone, MakerBot Replicator 2 dual extruder clone. It's actually really a rebranded Flash Forge Pro, but been a really great printer. I really didn't have a lot of luck getting things to print the way I wanted them to, and looked around, tried to find all kinds of software out there, just didn't have a lot of success. Found this great tool called Simplify 3D. It's not free, it's $150, but for me, it was well worth it. As an educator, I want to be able to create things on the printer and be able to have my students create things and be able to teach other people how to do that. So this was a great tool for me to get that done. So once you've got your file created, I'm just going to grab one here. I grabbed off of Thingiverse. I go into my Simplify 3D. Here you'll see you have your import, remove, center and arrange. I click on import. Really simple. I go find my file. I just save that in my downloads folder. So go to downloads. Should pop up here pretty quickly. There it is. So here's a Apple Watch and phone stand. One of my colleagues asked me to create for them. It drops it in right there. Pretty easy. So then I can grab my mouse and I can rotate that around. I can see how that's going to print. Right now I've decided I probably want to rotate that. To rotate it, I can just double click on the name of the file here in my little preview window. It opens this up. I can then reset the size, the scale, and I can rotate it. So in this case, if I want to rotate, I can just scroll on here and say, okay, I want to rotate it around the X axis. I can do it obviously by scrolling, or I can just type in -90. There we go. So now it's obviously in the wrong place. I'm pretty sure it's flat, but that's not going to work on my printer. So go up here, drop in, and hit drop model to table. Bam. There it is. So now I can move that around. Going here to my move. Just relocate that on my table wherever I want. I can also just hit center and arrange. Boom, it pops it in there for me. Now the cool thing for me was being able to kind of tweak these processes. And I can add processes and save them, which is really nice. So once I go here, I've got a medium quality process and I've got a low quality process. I'll just double click around the medium. If I want to double click on that, it goes in and it gives me all the details. So I can just, if I want to just kind of be the basics, I can just auto configure. It automatically lets me pick my material. I can pick the extruder I want to use. If I open up what's called the advanced section, so if I just want to generically set it automatically, I can just pick here. If I want to go to advanced, I can then control how much infill I want. If I want to raft, support, really have a lot of great control here on layer height, how many solid layers there are, the first layer settings, infill, how much support I want, the support type. Even I think we can even look at the shape of the support. Really a lot of great features here to tweak out what I want, which is nice. Now once I'm done, got it set the way I want, I go ahead and hit prepare to print. Now for me, this is the most beneficial part of this. I'll select my medium one. If you pick which process you want to use, hit OK. It real quickly generates the code needed by your machine. And then you get this really great preview. So this is something I couldn't find anywhere else. Maybe there's other software that has this. I didn't have any luck finding it. So now I can look and see what kind of support is this going to create for me. I can also scroll through and kind of preview this all through. So I can see what my printer is going to be doing, where the support is, if there's any support that's hidden from me, so I can make sure everything's going to look just the way I want it to on the print. This saved me so much time by printing stuff and not realizing how it was happening. If for a student, if I want the student to be able to see it, they can hit play, and it'll go through it, it'll lay out all the print. It'll give me an estimated time of build. This is going to print for 13 hours. So I can look at it right now and realize, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever. So I can go back and edit my settings to slow that down or speed it up by making less infill, changing the quality settings. All that can be done. You can also change how it color codes things, so I can do it by the active tool head. So in this case, I only got one tool head, but I have a dual extruder, so I could have that color coded, and I can have it color coded by speed, so how fast the printer is going to be moving from slow to very fast. And I might be able to tweak that, even make that a little better. Now the last piece, which I thought was pretty awesome, is I can go up here to my tools, where that's at. That's new to me, so I'm just figuring it out. Let me drop down here. Bring out, I think I'm playing. There we go. Let me pause that. And see if I can bring out. There's this little icon that pops up where I can actually go in, and by exiting my preview, I can remove the support. This was really useful because sometimes there's support in there that the computer puts in I just don't need, right? So I can click on that, generate automatic supports. I can control, what that support's going to be. And then if I don't want support, I can just remove it. So if I decide, you know what, I don't need this extra support, in this case I do, but if I decide I don't need that extra support, I can just click on remove existing supports, and I can click on the ones I want to get rid of, and I can pop those right out of there. If I decide I want to take some out of here, maybe I've got too much. This was really useful. I made a print where I had an embossed set of lettering, and it wanted to put support inside the letter. I knew it was going to be miserable to get that out once it was in there. So I was able to go through, click, remove all the support, and then make my print really clean. So here on the bottom there's support. If I decide, I don't need that, it's going to be fine the way it is, which is probably wrong, so I wouldn't do that here. But regardless, I could take out whatever I want. Once I take that out, then I prepare to print. It's then going to create my G code based on not having that support anymore. So now if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that that support is now gone. So it took it right out. So again, for those of you, I know educators, it's always like, oh my gosh, another $150 after I just spent, $1,000 on a 3D printer. But for me, the amount of time and hassle this saved for me to be able to look at this and see what I'm going to be doing, I think it's well worth it. So if you haven't seen it already, check out Simplify 3D. I think you'll be really happy with it.